Good evening, rockers. Vegas Rock Goddess here on the Rocks, Total Entertainment. Coming to you live from somewhere off the Las Vegas Strip. I know you guys love it when I say that. Tonight, we're interviewing Mr. Brion Gamboa. He is an amazing Nashville artist, and he's got a lot to talk about. He is actually on the new Mick Mars record. So this should be a great conversation. So let's go. All right, Brion, are you?
Hello.
I can't see you. There you are.
How about now?
Oh my God. Yes, finally.
Finally.
God. I don't know what it is with our interviews. It seems like stuff happens like every time.
You know, it's funny. All this technology I'm surrounded by here, right?
Right.
And yet I can't get Zoom to work.
Oh my
Scary.
God. Zoom, let me tell you something about Zoom. It's a beast.
I can't get it to work like
love
it
it.
should.
I love you guys at Zoom, but
Can you hear me okay
yeah,
this time?
you look great. There's great
Okay.
light. So this is going to be a great interview. So let's get to it.
Awesome.
I'm so excited for you about the Mick Mars record. So
Well, thank you.
Let's
I'm
get
excited too.
let's get right into it. I know we talked a little bit about it before, but before it was still kind of raw and it was kind of fresh. Now we're in it to win it. So let's talk about it. Why don't you tell the viewers that don't know who you are just a little synopsis? And you live in Nashville, so I've already told them that.
I do live north of Nashville. Synopsis. Let's see. Well, just been, playing music as long as I can remember, literally since knee high. I started on drums. I moved to guitar, and then I picked up other instruments along the way. And kind of first taste of success in my late teens with a band called Third Mist, and we ended up on Star Search and went to the semifinals on that. Did really good regionally, and then grunge came in, and like all the other glam bands, kind of kicked inside. So luckily,
don't get me started on that subject.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Luckily for me, I always had an interest, a huge interest in the production end of it, the writing, the production, and so I was building my own studios when I was really young, just piecing things together. But so after that, I ended up just kind of going to the studio and trying to become a better engineer, and then eventually starting to produce. So yeah, over the years that I've had several bands I've been a part of, and then I'm trying to do this quick, but fast forward 15 years ago, I moved to Nashville. One of the first bands I was in here was called On Tracy Lane, and then from there, several of my own bands and putting out EPs and things, and still producing a lot of people in this area and other projects. Yeah, so that kind of gets us up to here.
And let me tell you, when when Brion and I met, it was at Rock and Pod Fest in Nashville, and you are one of the most amazing guitar players. I feel
I don't know about
underrated. Okay, by the way, in Nashville, underrated, folks.
I don't know about that, but
well, anyway,
we have some. Thank you.
I got to
that is super sweet.
I got to see it up close and personal. I got that great video footage of you from Rare Hair. But
appreciate it.
Moving forward, now we're in 2024. I know we talked a little bit in 23 about a certain project that you really didn't talk about at the time.
No.
Yeah. So
and even now, because the album comes out February 23rd.
Right.
So even now, I don't like to say anything that Mick hasn't said really already.
It's fine.
I can give my point of view, but
yeah. So let's just bring the viewers up to speed on what you're doing with this record.
So, I am lucky enough, and I quote the lucky part to sing lead on a couple of the songs on the record, to sing lead vocals. Uh, and I share that with unbelievable like talent on this. I can't say that enough. Mick right off the bat is, I mean, he needs no introduction. He has been amazing forever. You know what I mean? And he's quite the creator. He has such a great imagination when it comes to guitar and the ideas he comes up with and just his sound. I mean, he's an innovator. It's I don't know of a better word. He's an innovator, and he has such a signature and so identifiable as a player, and so his body work. But then, my dear friend who brought me into this, and kind of unbeknownst to both of us, I think, really, Paul Taylor from, well, he's probably best known from Winger and Alice Cooper and Alda Nova and everyone else under the planet because he has worked with
Right.
everybody. And he's a great friend. Been a long time friend of mine, and we've done other work together in different arenas. And he's just awesome. And so, in a nutshell, how it came about, yeah, obviously the guys who were part of this were working on it. So Ray Lazier, obviously on drums, and Jacob Button is a writer and the vocalist on most of the record. Incredible guy. And these guys are insanely amazing. Like everything they do is fantastic. And they're really great guys. And then towards we had Michael Wagner, producing, who's Michael's amazing and a great guy. And then Chris Collier ended up playing bass and doing mixing on it, and he's phenomenal. So yeah, I'll tell you how it happened, but I'm kind of thrust in with these just iconic people, man, and just super nice people. You know, I can't stress that enough. I think I keep saying that, but really to be a part of a project with people who are good people, you genuine people that you want to hang out with. I mean, these are friends. They're people you start to care about. You feel like they care about you. That's almost more amazing than just singing on something.
There
So
has been so much press on this record. I'm telling you, like on the daily, I'm reading another little blip about this record. I mean, get ready, Brian, because this thing is going to go off like a rocket as soon as it lands.
well, you know what? I'm so glad for that. Number one, I know Mick has really been trying for years to put something together that he really wanted to put together. He has an amazing vision. He really does. He has clear vision, and this is Mick's record. Like every part of it, he has a real clear path to go on, and he doesn't alter from that path of what he hears in his head, and which is why he's taken his time and done it the way he wants to do it. And he
Yeah.
should. He's earned it. He's
Oh, yeah.
100% earned that.
He's earned the
And
right.
oh man, yeah, time and time again to just
Yeah.
do his thing and have it be what he wants.
Right.
And I think I'm sure he's excited to know, that the response has been amazing and other people are starting to love the few that they've heard already. So yeah, I'm super excited for him and I'm super excited for the other guys that are involved because I know there's a lot of work that went into it, you
Yeah.
know,
I mean, this is like I said. Now, when is the actual release date?
of the record
Yes.
from what I'm hearing and what Mick has said is February 23rd.
Okay. So we're going to go with
Yep.
February 23rd, but in this business, anything can happen. But
Sure.
tentatively,
Sure.
It's February 23rd. Okay.
That's what they've talked about. That's what he's announced. Yeah.
Now, do you plan on doing the mini tour with him once he starts when he releases this record? If he decides to go on some city tours?
Oh, I don't, you know what? I couldn't even speak to that. I know that, Mick has talked about in other interviews that, I don't know if he has an interest in touring. He's mentioned, that he might be willing for a residency or some one-offs or something, and that could change. I'm,
Right.
I'm not Mick.
But I'm saying the fans want it. The fans want it.
Well,
Trust me.
hey, you know what? I love Mick, and anything probably Mick asked me to do, I would jump to do it. He's just that kind of guy. So yeah, I mean, if he asked me to go play anything, 100% I would. That would be amazing.
That's
So
great, though. I am so looking forward to hearing the full record next month.
oh, good.
Brian, what else do you have going on? How's Nashville been?
Well, you're catching me at a time when we're freezing. Like
I know.
it snowed 6.5 inches where I am.
Oh, it's like
This is
48
crazy.
degrees in Vegas, and just a little jacket will do. So,
Oh, geez. Cry me a river. I'm from Colorado originally, so, like, I'm used to snow. I grew up driving in snow, and this shouldn't be a big deal, but I've been here, like, 15 years or so, and, we don't see a whole lot of this, you
yeah,
know? So, the town well, aspects of it just shut down,
right,
right? Because it's not set up for heavy snow. It's not set up for a lot of it, for sure.
right.
So it gets to be a mess, in
Challenging
some areas.
anyway for you.
Yeah, so you grab some hot chocolate and you stay in for a minute,
Yeah.
you
So
know?
have you like what's going on with you? What's happening besides the Mick Mars record?
Well, so I've been working on my own project, my own group. It's entitled BOA, and I have been gearing up to get ready to release a single. I'm shooting tentatively for maybe an April, May date.
Okay.
Just trying to put a lot of pieces because I have a whole vision laid out for a video. Um, but you got to make sure there's a lot of pieces in place to make sure that happens. And it'll be the first kind of debut off that record. So I want it to be good. I
Yeah,
don't want to
of
give anybody,
course.
junk out there. Um, so I'm putting a lot of time into that. I'm a lot of time. I still have some artists I'm producing, but really the focus is right now turned inward because time just starts slipping away, and before you know it, you're like, oh yeah, I wanted to put out a record. Go figure, right?
Right.
So
Well, what are some of the artists that you're working with right now?
so I still got so there's two local groups I've done several with. I think I talked to you about a few of them, and I think you spoke to one, but Abby K
Yeah.
is one that I've done a lot with, and then the Neon Angels.
Right.
So we've got them, and then there's a couple other groups that are coming on board here soon. So um, well, I won't be able to talk about that till we
Yeah,
close that.
I'm
Yeah,
interviewing the Neon Angels next month.
awesome.
Yeah, I
Uh,
love them.
what? Oh, Teresa is a gem. She's just I don't know. I'm blessed, man. There's a bunch of great people I deal with, especially out here in Nashville, but all over. Really, I mean, it just seems like the group of musicians I get to deal with day to day or month to month, or or I just even see a couple times a year are amazing. Like it's so nice.
Yeah, and next year they'll be doing Rock and Podfest. So
Oh
I'm
yeah.
really looking forward to 25 because
Oh
that's
yeah.
going to be great.
I think 24 and 25 are going to be great years for music. I just got this weird feeling. I
Yeah.
think some things I notice are coming around, especially some of the European bands, and I mean rock in specific. There's some things happening that I see groups are doing, and they've really stretched their wings, which I think is a great thing for this industry. I'm hearing things. I'm hearing no boundaries to some degree.
Right,
You have a lot of guitar solos that come back. You have keyboards that come back. You have the use of orchestration with metal. You have all these different things. And even, the diehard metal people might say, well, I don't really like that. But even tying in some pop elements and bluegrass elements with metal, why not? People are getting creative. And if the song at the end of the day is awesome, I feel like by people broadening their ear and broadening what they're doing, it allows it allows for people to not be tunneled into just
right,
radio or just this. You know what I mean? They don't have any, you know, parameters to stay in. They're not
right.
confined
And
by any.
yeah, I've been talking to a few out of the country bands, and from what I understand, this is going to be the year of the 70s and 80s rock mix.
Could be.
Bands like
Talking about
Foghat,
it.
BTO, you know what I'm saying? Molly Hatchet, those type of
Yeah.
bands, that sound is really kind of making a comeback.
Uh, well, think about it. When you look at chord structures, right? A commercial chord structure may be fairly simple, right? And when you're talking, every band that you named off had a more intricate setup, technically, on their song. Might have been simple melodies over the top vocally that you can sing along with and everything. But when you really dig into the music and the musicianship that's playing behind it, it's really awesome stuff. You know what I mean? And so yeah, I think it's all making a comeback because I feel like we go through generation things where
I
the
know,
ears are expanded, then they close in, and whatever's simple, you know what I mean? And
right?
then they open up again and let a bunch in. So yeah, I think we're opening up.
Yeah, and I really think that bands are starting to tell their story.
Yeah.
They're starting to become storytellers again. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
look at, the 80s storytelling bands, Queensryche. They always had a story to tell.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean,
Oh yeah.
and the list goes sticks. I mean, the list goes on.
Well, look
And
how much
it's
vinyl's coming back.
I know.
Everybody's doing vinyl again. That's awesome. I mean,
Yeah,
we actually have, we have inserts and covers to look forward to, like a tangible. That's amazing. That's awesome.
I would love to see the record store come back. I
Hey, my
mean,
teenage son just bought a turntable and is all about vinyl. And I'm thinking, this is great.
I
And
mean,
by the way, Mick is offering the record, The Other Side of Mars, on vinyl, signed or unsigned. So go to go to the Mick Mars site.
yeah, I gotta get
Plug
my
him.
hands on one of those for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I just love the way that music kind of is. I'm not saying it was in a shell, but I think pandemic kind of pushed everything back a little bit.
Yeah.
And now we're in
Yeah.
24. Bands are releasing their material that what they were working on during pandemic.
Yeah.
So everything
Yeah.
is going to be coming out, and people are touring, bands are touring. Um, yeah, it's great to see. But we're still seeing the struggle is real. You know,
Oh yeah.
I mean, these bands can't afford to do on a single tour. They're starting to bundle, with other bands to get out and play.
It's expensive.
Yeah,
It is. It's expensive to do and insurances and stuff. I mean, it's an undertaking and there's a lot of people involved. So yeah, I mean, it's sometimes that's the way to go. You broaden the bill, you group a lot together and then you can get it done, and until you can build to a point where you can reduce the bill a little bit. But yeah,
right.
whatever you're gonna do.
I mean, whatever these bands have to do to make it, they should do it, and now
I
is the time.
I agree. Get your stuff out there. You know what I mean? What do you got to lose? Somebody may not like it. I mean, that's always the
Right.
case. But
Yeah,
if you
for
got somebody
sure.
that does, you know, make music and
Yeah,
don't
I
make any
mean,
excuses. Just go for it.
That's what this business is all about, getting out there,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And it's good to see a lot
100%.
of these bands are kind of expanding a little bit. You know, a lot of these bands, they're making the money on the merch now. I know recently, I think it was Live Nation, kind of released the jugular on merch and giving it back to the bands. Um, that's a win-win all the way around.
We're in a weird age for this industry. We definitely are. I mean, it's night and day from what it used to be, and every year something's changing. But you really are your own product now. I mean, and between the social medias and everything else, you see so many independents because you're really you are your own product, and
Yeah,
you've got to treat it as much like a business. I mean, music business has always been that to a degree, but um, once you're done creating, once you're done being the artist, there's a time to step in and be the business person. And how do I drive that? And then how do I monetize it?
uh,
Boy,
I
you know, that's
don't mean to laugh.
that's always the fun
I don't mean
part.
to laugh, but that's like a real sore spot with me right now. But yeah,
Oh,
I
I think that's a
totally
sore
get it.
spot with a whole lot of people because
Yeah,
it's tricky. It's
yeah,
not like it used to be.
no, but
Yeah.
we're in it to win it. So I'm not going anywhere. So,
No,
you know,
no. If you love it, do it,
yeah,
and you got
exactly.
to figure out a way. And
Hey,
if you got to figure out a way how to make a living off of it.
let's talk about the closing of Bowie's in
Oh,
downtown
yeah.
Nashville. Let's talk a little bit about that. That's been open for quite a while.
So I've heard conflicting things about that. So I remember when they opened, and the owner and the lady who was running it, we became friends, kind of from the beginning. I have not talked to her in a while. I haven't been able to get down there nearly as much as I want to. But I'm kind of conflicted because I'm hearing things of maybe they're just remodeling and they're not closed for good, or there's some transfer happening. So I'm not really sure. I hate to say anything because I don't know if they're just, you know, fixing the place or changing it a little bit and then planning on reopening. I'm not really sure, but I've heard kind of the same thing. I've just heard several different sides, so I'm not really sure what to believe yet.
Yeah,
It's a
that
cool place.
yeah, I mean, I was kind of shocked when I read the article on it, like Bowie's is closing. I'm like, what? I mean, that was kind of, it's
We
right across for the Ryman. I mean, what a perfect spot.
Well, I'll tell you, yeah, it is, and it's a cool room. Going into it, it's a neat building, and you still feel like it's almost like historic in there, but then like the stage is a great stage and the whole bit. And I have many friends that past several years have played down there and just had a blast. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Like any town, Nashville has lost some really cool places. On the smaller level, places like Dan McGinnis was a stomping ground for many of us who got here 15 years ago. That's where you hung out. It was at the top of Music Row, um, on the other side of the statue. And people would get out of Label or out of ASCAP or BMI or, something on the road there. And everybody went and had, happy hour at Dan McGinnis. And there was always talent on the patio or whatever. And my good friends in the rock and roll residency were there for years. Um, yeah, just cool stuff there. 12th and Porter was an amazing place for a long time, and then they changed to something else, and it's no longer the rock bar that it was. There were several places when I first moved here. The Rutledge, there's a place, Limelight. Yeah, I mean, in the 15 years I've been here, I've seen a lot of places either close or turn to something else. Or yeah, it's
Yeah.
unfortunate.
Yeah,
I
that's kind of,
I I,
yeah. That's
I
kind of
feel lucky
the
though,
revolving
because
door.
yeah, I feel lucky because I got to, hang and play at a lot of these kind of iconic little places, that Nashville had for rock, which is kind of a big deal, even
Yeah.
then. Um, so yeah, I was lucky to have done that and really met some great people, so but it's the same thing where I grew up in Denver, we had late 80s and 90s, we had a whole rock scene and many rock clubs, right? And I feel like everybody at those clubs knew each other. You know what I mean? We all
Right.
kind of were tied in a circle. Same thing. LA's done the same thing. I mean, it's towns roll over. They may, one town is maybe bigger and has more of it, but you have your favorite places, and those places eventually either people retire or something happens. And I don't know. It's sad though, a little bit.
Yeah.
But hopefully newer, better, bigger places pop up.
Right. And I think Nashville's kind of going through a rock resurgence. So, I mean, it's
Definitely.
not country anymore. I mean, there is no
No, I mean,
boundaries. There's no boundaries at all. And
no, there's not
yeah,
at all.
I mean, look at Garth Brooks opening his club right there, right in the middle, right like
Right,
kitty corner from the Ryman. I mean,
right,
what
right.
a great spot. And then we've got, on the other hand, we've got, Old Red just opened up across from the Bellagio, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
And
What's how is that?
I have not been there, but I've seen pictures because
Yeah.
I work at, I'm not going to say what hotel I work at, but I work at a competing hotel across the street. So,
Ah.
yeah, so I'm anxious to go
I'm not
there.
gonna say who.
No, oh no.
I could guess though.
But
I
anyway,
was just through there in the spring of last year.
yeah.
Yeah. It
So,
looks so much different to me. It's crazy.
yeah. But, we've got Old Red. I mean, it's just exploding.
Yeah.
Blake
Yeah.
Shelton has got a business mind, and I mean, he hit it out of the park.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, well, and I can't remember. There's somebody else opening something down there. I can't remember who, but I've heard a lot of people talk about it and what's going to happen. Well, the Wild Horse. So then I think somebody is buying that and doing something with that or something. Yeah, it's I don't know, man. Nashville will never run out of music.
No,
Let's put it
just
that
like
way.
Vegas
It's
is
not.
never going to run out of entertainment,
Yeah,
on
yeah.
whatever aspect. But, we're still a strong rock community. I mean,
Seems like it.
yeah, some of the little clubs that were closed during pandemic have just
Yeah.
recently reopened
Oh, good.
with new ownership. The Hard Hat Lounge
Okay.
was closed for a long time. So the guitar player for Slash actually lives here in Vegas, and he is the owner of that club.
That's
So, and
that's awesome.
they just had a huge grand opening, and Slash was there. I mean, Miles Kennedy was there. I mean, it was a huge deal. And
That's awesome.
yeah, so I mean, everybody's putting their own stamp now on Vegas because I mean, we're becoming really the entertainment mecca. You know,
Is it a good sized club?
it's kind of on the small side. It's more of like
Okay.
I would have to say dive bar with a stage kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Sure.
yeah, I mean, this town is really, I mean, it was funny because when I was in Nashville for Rockin' Pod, I was hearing the term Nash Vegas all
Yeah.
week.
Oh, yeah.
And
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like, Nash Vegas, what is up with this? You
Oh,
know?
yeah.
And now it's like Vegas Nash. Because I think
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
kind of like,
Yeah.
meshing the two together as well. Um,
Yep, yep.
Blake Shelton and that Old Red, man, that thing is huge. You got the best view in Vegas
Yeah.
from the
Yeah.
top roof of that club.
I'd like to go check that out.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. And of course we had F1 here.
Okay.
prior to the end of the year. Craziness. If you live here,
Hey, when we were there, it was the what is that? Is it EDC or
oh
ED,
yeah.
the electronic music thing?
Yeah,
That was going on.
that's not as
That
crazy as F1 was.
really, really. Oh,
Yes.
okay. That was. I mean, we were walking through the hotel, and of course, my teenage son was loving it
Oh
because
yeah. I mean,
he was
that's
loving what everybody
typical.
was wearing to
Right. But I'm saying that whatever. That's like a
it.
weekend grind.
Yeah.
Okay.
True.
We're talking F1 people were coming from all over the world. I mean,
Yeah.
it was insanity.
Wow.
It was just insanity trying to get to my work.
I
I had to
bet.
find back ways to
I
get
bet.
to get to
No fun.
I mean, it was crazy.
No, when that place gets congested or something big goes through, I've definitely
Yeah.
been there a few times, and
Oh, and it's coming back this year. We're so excited.
I bet you are. I
Well, we're
bet you
getting
are.
but you know what though? We're getting the Super Bowl here in a couple weeks. So,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I'm hoping for
Good
the
luck getting
Ravens.
around then too.
Let's hope for the Ravens right now. That's what we're hoping for.
I'm pleading the fifth on this one.
Okay. I don't care. I don't care the haters here in Vegas. I don't like the Raiders. I love the Ravens. I'm just
I
going to say that. All my friends live in Baltimore on the East Coast.
I grew up in Denver, so I was a Broncos fan.
Yeah.
So you can understand, even though the Broncos are, I'm so disappointed for the last several years, but I'm still a fan, and it pains me because the Broncos have had a lot of enemy teams, so it's hard. I try to like other teams, I do,
Right.
but the Bronco fan in me deep
Well,
down, it
look,
was kind of
look,
embedded.
Brian, I'm from
It's hard.
Chicago. I should be a Chicago Bears fan.
You
Okay.
should.
I was a
Still
Chicago
Bears.
Bears fan. Was. I
Yeah,
was there.
I get it.
I was
I
there for
get it.
the 84 Bears or 87 Bears or whatever that
Yeah.
they won the Super Bowl. I was there.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Now we're in 24 and it's time for the Ravens to get that
Well,
Super
hey,
Bowl right.
you know what? Well,
We'll see.
I'll root for you. How's that?
I aggravate all my
I'll
friends because they're Raiders fans. I'm like, okay.
I'm gonna root for you to get around that town okay and be able to go to work and do your thing
Yeah, I don't
and
think Super Bowl is going to be that crazy like F1 was, but you know,
maybe not. Yeah, yeah. I
I'm
don't know.
and I can't even take a vacation when F1 comes. It's blacked out.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
I bet. Yeah.
Anyway, it was great talking to you, Brian. I'm really looking forward to all these projects, your BOA project with your own stuff, the Mick
Yeah.
Mars record coming out February.
February 23rd is my
Okay,
understanding.
tentatively
Yeah.
February 23rd. So we're going to hear
Yep.
a lot more about this record. I mean, it's probably going to be one of the albums of the year.
I hope so. It's really, I'm saying this from a point of view, just stepped out, objectively, just as a listener. It's one of those records you don't skip around tracks.
Right?
It's just solid all the way through it, and I'm not giving anything away, and I'm not saying anything Mick hasn't said already in interviews, but it's versatile. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's a great record. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm looking forward to everybody. I hope, I hope people listen and give all the songs a listen because
Right.
there's amazing stuff on this
Now,
record.
Brian,
Yeah.
what are the two songs that you're singing on that record?
I am doing vocals on Undone and Killing Breed.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah,
So the viewers know what to listen for when they get that Mick
sure.
Mars record.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
why don't you give everybody all your socials so they can start following you and all of your rock and roll adventures?
So it's pretty easy. I got a weird spelling to my name. So if literally on Instagram, Facebook, Brion, Brion, Gamboa, Gamboa. I think on Instagram, I'm Brion Gamboa Official. On X, I'm Brion Gamboa Official. So yeah, you do that. And there's not many that, I mean, there's a few out there that spell it with an O, but not many. So it's pretty easy. It comes up pretty quick. So
So we'll
yeah,
keep in touch, Brian, over the summer,
of
and
course.
please keep in contact with me. Let me know what's going on in Nashville and what
Yeah,
your plans are.
I will for sure. And as we get down the road, I'm sure we'll get to have a lot more to talk about. But just, thank you. I really appreciate you taking the time. And I don't know how many people out there actually want to listen to anything I have to say, but I really appreciate you taking the time and even just getting the word out about obviously Mick and his record, but even talking about some of the stuff I'm doing. So thank you so
Yeah,
much for
no,
that.
no worries. I mean, I'm here to promote you. So, and
Wow.
that's my job, is really to get the word out on how amazing you are. And
Well, I wouldn't call me amazing, but I sure appreciate getting the word out.
but let me
Hey,
tell
I
you,
live in a town with amazing, I'm surrounded by amazing, and
right. But you've got a
it's so
lot
funny.
going on, and we look forward to hearing more from you, especially your solo stuff. I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay, take care and keep in touch. All right,
You rock. Thank you for doing this.
no worries. Talk soon.
See ya.
What a great guy. He's got a lot going on. He's an amazing one of the many amazing artists coming out of Nashville. So definitely check out that new Mick Mars record coming out next month, February 23rd. I am really excited to hear him sing on it and these two songs. So can't wait. This is Vegas Rock Goddess on the Rocks, total entertainment, coming to you live from Las Vegas. So always like and subscribe to On the Rocks Total Entertainment, because you never know who I will be interviewing next.